Hello and welcome to my video review of Mount&Blade Warband. There are 4 Mount&Blade games in total, but I'm only going to talk about one of them, which is the second game in the series, Mount&Blade Warband. It was developed by the Turkish company TaleWorlds and published by Paradox Interactive. The game is a non-linear action role-playing video game, which takes place in a medieval land named Caldaria. It features a sandbox gameplay style in which there is no storyline present. The player is able to join and fight for one of the 6 factions battling across the map. Fight as a mercenary, assume the role of a vassal for your king, or take a neutral side. Obviously, the goal of the game is to destroy the opposing factions and claim the land of Caldaria for yourself or for your king. Big parts of the game involves completing quests, marrying lords or ladies to gain foothold, trading, and much more. In fact, there are so many things you can do in this game that affect your own story that it's impossible to list them all. Now on to the role-playing part of the game. At the start of the game you create your hero by choosing his or her background story. After you have chosen your background story, it's time to name your character, divide points between your attributes, pick your skills, and choose your weapon proficiencies. As an outsider, you travel to Caldaria either by caravan or by ship. It's all up to you. As you recruit soldiers for your personal army, you have the option to rank them up, which is required to win the harder battles throughout the game. All factions have unique armies, which gives you a huge variety in mixing units. However, this lowers the morale of the group, so usually it's best to stick with a healthy mix of 2 or 3 faction units. In Mount&Blade Warband, you can acquire companions who serve as party boosters. You can use companions as medics, tacticians, engineers, trackers, or as pure powerhouse soldiers. Unlike ordinary soldiers, you choose the equipment and skills of your companions. Here you can see one of many companions you can get in the game. As an example, I will show you Jeremus, my medic. I have given him really good medical skills. However, this means that he's extremely vulnerable in combat, which means that I have to keep him covered on the battlefield so he doesn't die. I have yet to tell you about my favorite part of the game, combat. Mount&Blade Warband has a rather unique combat system compared to all the other medieval games out there. This system is based on visual cues, such as observing where your opponent is striking in order to block the hit. As shown in this practice session, my sparring partner is trying to break my block by landing a series of hits to my body from different angles. The combat system is easy to learn, but really hard to master, especially if you plan on cranking up the difficulty of the game or fight several foes at the same time. With that being said, you usually don't fight on your own on the battlefield. This is a fight between my mercenary army and some bandits. As the captain, you get to decide what course of action your army should take. Right here, I ordered my army to line up and have a few shots at the bandits who are running at me in a big mass. When they get close enough, I decide it's time to run them down with my cavalry, giving the infantry units time to charge up their swings as they clash with the bandits. Here I'm in charge of 70 Knights of Swadia, fighting a Viger Lord. At this moment I really feel like a Lord Knight, smashing heads as I charge right into the mass of the crowd. The sound of metal clashing with metal and hearing death cries really gives you that immersive feeling that you want when you play a game. Listen and enjoy. This is the campaign map. When you stand still, the game is paused and you get the time to think about your actions. When you move, everyone else on the map moves, even if you can't see them at the moment. You can see the amount of soldiers I have with me by looking at the number under my hero. Also, this is where you interact with lords, caravans, kings, and bandit leaders. Pretty much anyone who roams the map. This is, by no doubt, one of my favorite games. I keep going back to it and I'm never disappointed. If you like medieval first and third person combat mixed with strategy and roleplay, you will love Mount&Blade Warband. So my conclusion is, you know what, just buy the game already.
For the order!